What is up, guys? It's your boy Torius, back again with another video. We're gonna be talking today about going on dates, like inviting a girl on a date versus inviting her to the crib, right? So smash the like button, comment below what you think about the video, subscribe if you're new. I'm writing a book, buy it. Let's get into it. All right, so when you guys are like talking to girls and you know you talking to little girlfriends or whatever, trying to get them smash, there's always this debate, right? Whether you should spend the money on the girl or you should just invite her to the crib, right? So I'm gonna just tell you my experiences with it, right? Because everyone has their own experiences. I've gone on dates with girls, and I've had girls just come to the crib, right? And I've had girls do both and opposites. I don't know, bro. It's just weird. I'm gonna just tell my experiences. So the pros and cons, right? The pros of just like getting a girl to go on a date with you is that you get to like vet her out, basically, right? Because the thing is like you don't want just random people coming to your crib because you don't know what time they're on. You feel me? Like you don't know what they're like, why she even agreed to go with you in the first place, right? Like why she's hanging out with you. Because there's some malicious people in this world. You feel me? So when you're hanging out with them, you don't want them to be like, I'm sorry, I just realized a bunch of shit right now. You don't want them to be, you know, like you don't want to entities cannot enter unless you let them in, right? So there won't be demons in your life unless you let the demons in, right? So that it's not good to just let people know, let everyone know where you sleep, where you lay your head at, right? Or where your family lays your head at. That was something I did and I kind of regret it. Not really, but I know it better now. I used to like have girls come over all the time, right? And the thing is like I would always think that, damn, I'm like putting my family in jeopardy. You feel me? Like I don't know this girl, like, because the thing is I would get a lot of girls from Instagram and just like have it like just talk to girls on Instagram and be like, oh yeah, come through, and they'll be like from like fucking like Fort Lauderdale, fucking Miramar, like far as fuck, right? Like people I never, these aren't even girls, these are just people I've never met, right? Like I don't even see it as this, oh, this is a chick from IG. I just see it as these are people I've never met. Right? There's this person I've never met come to my crib where my mom stay at, where my brother stay at, where I stay at, and I'm just like putting my safety and everyone's safety in jeopardy, right? I mean, I was young, I didn't give a fuck. That's why it's always good to have your own place, because then you're only putting yourself in jeopardy, right? So I was, you know, like I would always invite girls over and stuff, but then I would also take girls on dates. Did I ever smash on dates? A couple times, right? Like the thing is a lot of times, because there's been girls that they just come over and we smash and then they leave. I never see them again. But then there's some girls like I would take on dates. It's like a mixed mosh, right? It's like a mixed mosh of like going on dates and stuff. Because the thing is sometimes you'll just tell, all right, the worst thing ever, the one that's the most annoying is when you invite a girl over, right? You invite a girl over and you're like, oh yeah, come through, and she's like, I'm not gonna go to your house on that first night. I never even met you, or I just met you and I'm not gonna go to your crib on that first date. And I'm like, all right, whatever, right? But the thing is, what sucks is that if you tell them like, all right, let's go on a date, then that they don't be fuck with you, and they'll be like, oh, this dude changed his mind so easy. Because the thing is, you're supposed to drop them, right? But sometimes you just be like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna just invite you on a date, I don't care. So you're just like you don't give a fuck, and you just like let them, you know, basically let them win, but then they don't respect you after that, right? So you just gotta be like, all right, fuck it, whatever, on to the next one. Never change your plans, right? When you're making dates with girls, never change your plans. Like if you say, let's go here, right? And she's like, actually, I don't like that spot, let's go here instead, right? Because I have noticed that when I did do that with girls, then they would like respect me less, right? I mean, I would see some of them, but I mean, it all depends on how much the girl likes you, right? Like, cause if she likes you a lot, she'll do whatever the fuck you say, right? Like if you say, oh, let's go here, then she'll just go, right? She'll just be submissive to you because she likes you a lot. But if she's not really like, if she's on the fence with you, she'll be like, oh, let me test this dude, and she'll be like, oh, actually I like here instead, and you'd be like, oh, okay, then you can go there, I'm gonna go here. Right? So what's the cons of going on dates, right? Because I mean, a pro also is that you get to go out, right? You get to do different things, and you get more stories and shit, right? So it is good to have dates, and it's, you know, it's always good to put yourself out there in the world, because then you have more stories and it makes you a more interesting person. So if you can go on as many dates as you can, like, yeah, they're expensive, but the reason why girls want you to go on dates is because they want you to spend your money, because the more money you have to spend, the more money you have to work. That's why it's socially acceptable to take a girl on a date, because that's less money for you, because you're spending 2 times as much money on food as you would for yourself at a fancy ass place where everything is overpriced. So imagine you're going on a date, you're spending $100, right? You're spending $100 on this date. Now you got $100 less. That means you got to go make $100 more. And most people listen to this is broke. So you know how $100 feels when you got to make $100 and just to spend it on a date. It fucking sucks. So when you spending it, you know, whatever. Because the thing is, if a girl is going on a date, that means that she's valuable, right? Because to me, I would not spend money on a date on a girl unless I value her, right? Like, if it's a girl I value, I'll be like, all right, hey, let's meet at this restaurant. Like, she has to be like real bomb. She has to be real right in the mind. She has to be real like sexy and shit, right? Like, I gotta be like, oh, all right, this is a girl I'm gonna spend money on. Because there's some girls you just hit up and like, hey, come through, and then they come through, and then, you know, like, I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying, oh, it's good to do that. I'm just saying there is. You feel me? Like, I've done it. I don't give a fuck. But the cons of going on dates, right? What is the con of going on a date? The con is that you gotta spend money. Sometimes girls will use you for dates, right? A girl will be like, oh, I don't want to go on a date. Honestly, you know, I feel like that's a lie, right? I feel like girls just say that. I feel like girls just say that, just like how they say, oh, your dick's little, or you're not tall enough, or this and that. Like, things you can't change, right? Because the thing is, I don't feel like girls really use dudes for dates, right? Like, for free food. Because the thing is, a girl will not be seen with a dude unless he's fucking... Well, she's attracted to him, right? Because if a girl's not attracted to you, she's gonna be repelled by you. So she's gonna go away from you. She's not gonna be in your vicinity, right? So if you're able to attract her, even if it's the money attracting her, she's not gonna be able to stay. Like, because I don't know, have I ever been on a date where a girl sucked? A lot of times girls suck on the dates, but I've never had it. Like, I'm just saying that there's a girl that I didn't like, but a lot of times I've never been on a date really where a girl, like, because on the TV and stuff, they'll show girls just like sitting there like, I'm not really interested in this dude. But I'm just like, damn, that was crazy. Cause I've never even gotten a date. Like, because the thing is, to even get a date with a girl, for her to spend her time with you, you know, she has to like you somehow. Like, she gotta like you in a smidgen, at least, right? You gotta be at least a 5 in order for you to go on a date with a girl, right? To smash on like the first date, you gotta be at least like an 8 to a 10, right? If you're 8 to 10, a girl will smash you the first time you meet her, right? I've had girls tell me this. But if you're like a 5, 6, because the thing is, the more time you spend with the girl, the higher your number goes up, because then she gets to know you. If you get to show her your masculinity, right? If you show her that you're a masculine dude and stuff, she'll be like, oh, you know what? This dude is actually masculine, right? I don't believe that happens with friends, right? If a girl wants to be your friend, then fuck it, then she just wants to be your friend, right? And I don't really condone all this. I don't know about all that stuff. But if there's a girl that you know she likes you enough to go on a date with you, and then you know that you're on a motherfucking date with her, and you're just like, okay, she knows that you're trying to smash, and she's on a date with you, which means that she's giving you the opportunity to smash, right? Because remember, girls are trying to not have as many bodies as possible, so they try to make it as hard for you as they can, because they don't want their bodies to go up, and you want to have more bodies, right? So it's like a game. It's why they call it a game, because she's trying to keep you out and you're trying to go in. You're trying to penetrate, even though she's keeping you out like a wall. Yeah, so you just take her out on a date and whatever, and that means that she has like more value, right? But a lot of times the girls will just like go on the date with you. You'll spend all this money, because that's what a lot of dudes be getting upset for too. Like when a girl is upset, like when a girl, bless me, when a girl and a dude stop talking, a lot of times the dude would just be upset because of the money that he spent on her, right? Because a lot of times I'll take a girl on a date and I'll never see her again, and I'm like, damn, bro, all that money I spent, right? And it would hurt because of all the money. I don't even give a fuck about the girl. I just care because I got less money. And it's like, damn, bro, that was such a waste. That was such a waste of money. I mean, because the thing is, that was before I valued experiences, right? There's dudes be not valuing experiences. Like, you should go out some places. And a lot of times, places in society, it's like it's like taboo to go out to places by yourself, right? Like, to be seen by yourself makes you seem like you're a loser. And that's why it makes you motivated to work, because then you're shunned by society, right? That's so funny. We're like ants, right? We're like, the human race is like a bunch of ants. Like, we think that we're humans, but we're fucking animals. We're like systematic ants. You feel me? So you just gotta play the game. Now, talking about bringing girls to the crib, let's get into that. So when you get a girl and you're just like, oh yeah, come through, she'll be like, come through. Sometimes she'll come through. You feel me? Like, sometimes she'll be like, oh, you know what? I don't mind. I'll come through. She'll come through. And especially if it's because the thing is, I always hear these stories, like, oh, because like the thing is like, whenever I hear about, I don't know, I'm not gonna talk about that, but it, I feel like girls already know what time it is, because it's like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, right? And you just say, oh, come through. It's like, what are we gonna do? Play checkers? Like, in the real world, are we gonna play checkers? I'm not condoning nothing. I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying, if you just tell, because we all know what we want, right? So if we're just telling the girl come through, and she comes through and we smash, right? What does that tell you about the girl? Like, it was so easy. It was that easy to smash him, right? That means that she's not really like as valued. Like, I'm not saying that every girl that comes through and then she's not, you smash her the first time you meet isn't valuable. I'm just saying she's not as valued as a girl that you would go on a date with. A lot of times girls won't even let you smash unless you take them on a date, right? Like, you'll tell them to come through, like, all right, because this actually happened to me last night. That's why I'm talking about it. Because homegirl was talking to me real shiesty, right? She was real shiesty on me, and I was just like, all right, bet, I'm in your area, was good. And then she's like, oh, you trying to have a booty call? I never met this girl, but she's like, oh, you trying to have a booty call? And I'm like, yeah, why not? And then she started talking to me, because she don't know me. She would never been on a date, right? And she's like trying to present herself as like, oh, I'm too valuable for you to come through and just smash me, and then we don't. Because the thing is, like, I was listening to all these dating coaches on YouTube, and they were talking about, oh, if she don't smash by the third date, then get her done, get her done. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll listen to that. But now I understand sex more, and I realize that, sex, the whole point of sex. Because the thing is, I was listening to all that feminism shit, and they're like, oh, smash whoever you want, da-da-da-da-do, right? And girls are liberated. So I'm thinking, all right, bet, all girls are whores now. All right, I'm good with that. But then now I realize that sex is for making babies, right? So why would a woman even want to make a baby with you? Because you're valuable, because you're building society up. Because you're adding to society, you're doing more things, you're doing greater things, you're making society better. So she would want to smash you because you're making everything best for everyone. So she's like, all right, I want that nigga, the nigga who's making everything, like the king gets the most women, because the king is like the head of the society, right? He's like the top. Because if without the king, no one knows what direction to go to, and everyone's scattered like a bunch of like when bees have queens, without the queen, all the bees go all over the place. Same with ants. So it's important, because we're, like I said, we're like ants. Without the head, you're just a body. The body don't know what to do. The head got direction. The head has guidance. What are some other the cons of? All right, so the pro of getting a girl to come through is that you don't got to do that much work. All the work is done pretty much when you get there, and then this is pretty much just a booty call. You might not see her again. That's one thing, because a lot of times I'll smash girls that came through, I never see them again, right? A lot of times it's my fault. But I'm just saying, when they just come through, you don't know what time they're on, like I was saying. And the pro is, I don't know, but make your decisions. I always I just recommend nowadays, because I've done all that shit. I try to, because the thing is, you might have a badass bitch and she might come through on like the 5th or 6th date, right? Or like 3rd or 4th maybe, and she might come through later, but then you might ruin it, right? You might just ruin it by saying like, oh yeah, come to my crib for the first date, and then she might look at it sideways, especially with like Twitter now. Like, it makes girls understand like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Right? I mean, girls will still do it, but I'm just saying that, like, if you're if you might ruin your chances with the girl if you're just like, oh yeah, come through, and then nothing really is going on. That's my 2 cents on it. Pretty much. Like the video, comment if you agree with what I'm saying. If you don't agree, comment what you think. If you want more advice, just let me know in the comments. Follow me on Instagram at Torius, and subscribe, and just DM me a question and subscribe if you're new, and I'll get back to you guys later. Peace.